this is a disgraceful case. It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system. And all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are.
Michael Cohen's former banker, Gary Farrow, was cross-examined today, and for more than 2 hours, he denied at one point even ever speaking to former President Trump. Also, a lot of drama as Judge Juan Merchan ruled that Trump violated his gag order 9 times, charging him $1,000 for each violation. Trump's team had argued that reposts of other people's words do not violate the gag order, but Juan Merchan, the judge, disagreed, saying, quote, "There can be no doubt whatsoever that the defendant's intent and purpose when reposting is to communicate to his audience that he endorses and adopts the posted statement on his own." Trump was ordered, by the way, to pay this $9,000 fine by Friday. Probably it won't be an issue for him to come up with that spare change. Let's get right into it now. Pleased to have Newsmax's senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, Day 9, thank you for joining me right here. A special hour of coverage ahead.
Sure. It's a pleasure to be with you, Bianca.
All right, let's talk first about this gag order. There's still going to be a hearing Thursday, but today Juan Merchan dropped $9,000. You said this is a no-brainer, that he is in violation. But you have also said before during our conversations on this program and others that you don't actually agree with gag orders. Trump's the only one gagged, and some say it's unconstitutional, will be overturned, but not until appeal.
You know, gag orders on their face, because they restrain human speech, are unconstitutional. Now, I know I'm an outlier on this. Nearly all judges who are presiding over criminal cases fear that somebody in the case will say something outside the courtroom which will make its way to a witness and give the witness pause, or make its way to the juror and be something that hasn't been filtered through the judicial mind, something getting into the jurors' minds that hasn't come in through the courtroom. This is the fear that that judges have. But the remedy for that has got to be something less than silencing the defendant, particularly when the defendant is engaged in political speech for his very existence. So I think these gag orders are unconstitutional. Now, having said that, once you issue a gag order, you got to follow through on it. Otherwise, you'll have no credibility with the lawyers in the case, and you'll find the government appealing you for failing to enforce your own gag order. So Judge Merchan has created a bit of a quagmire for himself.
Yes.
More so than for Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has no problem speaking out, as you know, and will probably likely do so during a lunch break. Let's play a little bit of his comments, Judge, walking in today, where he spoke right about Merchan even before the gag order came down.
We're here. This is a hoax. This is a judge who's conflicted. Badly, badly, badly conflicted. I've never seen a judge so conflicted.
All right, so he's speaking out, and I have to tell you, the court of public opinion is going to see this Time magazine. It dropped today, and you probably got to look at it. A very iconic image on the cover, black and white. Trump looking more presidential. This is not that mugshot we saw in Fulton County. And he talked about things, including the Supreme Court ruling on immunity, Judge. One thing he says, you know, if president doesn't get immunity, he looked ahead in one of the transcripts that was put out here saying Biden will be prosecuted for all his crimes. What do you make of Time magazine? It does look like it's a pretty glowing cover piece and something that maybe Alvin Bragg won't be too happy to see.
You know, it was a very candid interview that the former president gave them. And it's another way for the former president to, if you will, speak to witnesses and speak to jurors without obviously violating the gag order, because the interview apparently occurred before the gag orders were issued. There's a lot in there, including criticism of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for allowing October 7th to happen. So it's a very, very, very candid, refreshingly candid Donald Trump speaking his mind on many issues, all of which are relevant to voters and many of which are relevant to jurors in this case.